Ooh, here I am sitting in the window, illuminated by the reflection of the sun, the snow sun. Oh, here I'm in Rimulus 4, where the evil blood bats you gotta watch out for. Right? Gotta watch out for the blood bats. Here's my space canoe. Yep, it does warp 10. It doesn't look good, but it's stuff where it counts, you know. Watch out for the deadly blood rats. And here we are. See, there's no escaping. This is like, it's like concrete. Not until it gets warm and rains do we get out of here. And that's the interesting thing of one little neck of the woods is, you know, just down 500 feet from here, there's probably no snow. Watch out for the blood rats. Oh, Romulus 9. Oh, no. Oh, and what do we have in the galley? We have a nice stew, vegetable stew, totally vegetables, spinach, broccoli, onions, green peppers, beans, and Joan doesn't want any yummo, yes, and almost vegan, you know. And this is the spaghetti, you know, that'll last a good couple days. And you know, the thing about spaghetti is that it's, you know, yummy every day that you go by. And now this, you know, that doesn't have any meat in it either. That's kind of vegan, except for the pasta. And the pasta is supposed to be like whole grain, unbleached, blah, blah, blah. So, and I took my blood sugar today, and it was around 110, which is not bad. So I can have a little pasta, and I'll take my blood sugar tonight, see how it affected me. So, as our good morning, Sarah. It's you, yep. When I read your names, it's like the Saturday Night Live version of Jeopardy, you know? Oh. Anyway, so, you know, there's, you know, so, you got it right, yep. So, you know, I watch all the streams you folks send me, and I look at where they go. And there's all these, you know, the leak project that kind of makes me think about the guy's wetting his pants, you know, the leak project. And, you know, the Young Turks, so they don't look too young, you know. They're not that young. They're kind of getting a little, you know, they're not as old as me, but I never, you know, called myself the Young Turk. You know, for most of half my life, I hung out with such old folks that even when I was in my 30s, I was still, hey, kid, come over here, you know. So, but I was watching the Saturday Night Live episodes with John Belushi and that gang, and they were doing the episode where Star Trek's flying through the interstellar space, and they get pulled over by a 1972 LeBaron, and who comes in but the executives from NBC, and they cancel the program. And at first they try to shoot him with phasers and it doesn't work, and then they take everyone away. And that's almost kind of what I think is going on in our little igloo of a solar system, that we're somebody's reality TV show. Hey, you couldn't get any better humor than Donnie Chump. And everyone in DC. I mean, that's the beauty of Donnie, is he's showing every element of our institutional crap belief structure that it's a joke. It's worse than a reality. It's worse than I don't want to disparage any housewives in New Jersey, or even that family, or it's just right. And so we are some space jerks, orphans. We were left here to stew in our own juices, and and what you know Satan does rule here, pretty much, but only in this little golf ball of a reality. And even though it's frigging a universe, it's still a golf ball compared to the infinite essence of love's co-creation, right? So you got to laugh at all this, and that is going to be one of the foundation blocks of our alternative aesthetic. We have to find humor in virtually everything, and that's why I've always loved Monty Python's Flying Circus. Yeah, let's see. Boo, boo, boo. Hey, get ready. Interview this morning. I'll just say hi. Okay, fish. Okay. Remember to breathe. In 20%, out 30%. Fish, sit down and do this now. Go to your Akashic record, open up the book, and look at the screen and visualize you going to the interview. Visualize you doing everything like amazing. Visualize I'm going, we need you, fish, more than anything. Normally this job pays this, but we're going to pay you 6 times more because we need you. Okay, visualize that, fish. See that clearly. See yourself getting this position, getting everything you want from it, having it be the greatest opportunity in your job career, and a stepping stone to things even greater, right? See it clearly. And everyone here, right behind you, buddy. We are going to be, your Sensei Albab, me at least, is going to all day long visualize you succeeding. Visualize you getting what you want. Visualize having a great experience in this interview. See it clearly. Put on that, you're looking into your closet right now and you're picking out what you're going to wear. Even though you might have thought of something last night, you're just putting on the best outfit, and you're not even thinking about it. It's all coming through your, Akashic record. It's all coming through your intuition, right? All coming from all those little guts. Your gut doesn't feel bad. Your gut feels good. All the little guys, all the little mitochondria of every cell. It's like, go fish, go fish, go fish, go fish, yay fish, right? See it clearly. Better to laugh than cry. But crying isn't that bad either, as long as you're not crying out of fear. If you're crying, I've laughed so hard, I pissed myself and cried. Crying's not bad. In a lot of ways, it's better than pissing yourself. But if you got a cup down there and catch it and knock it back, then you have laugh piss, Remember, just close your eyes. Go fish, go. All your gut, all your mitochondria, they're all cheering, go fish, right? You're, and I'm right behind you, buddy. I'm there, When's your interview? An hour from now, 2 hours from now, 3, 5, tell me kind of rough moments of of it. Sarah. Let me see. She's got a little fish there. Ow. And 3 is the sacred number, Sarah. You got it right. You know, go fish, go fish. And we're all behind you, buddy. Okay. So from this moment on, this little part of my super conscious mind is seeing you succeed, being amazing, happy, and being there, right? On time, 8:47. Okay. So just relax, get dressed, eat a little something, not too much, not too heavy, just a little something so you feel satiated. A piece of fruit, maybe, something that you like, but won't change your blood sugar, too much. You know, if you have to have a cup of coffee, one. So if they offer you something, you can have your second cup there. Or you can say, no, I'm fine. Right? Go fish, go fish, go fish, go. So, get yourself ready. Get there 5 to 10 minutes early, because that's always a good thing to show your new employer that you're not late, just a few minutes early, 5, 10 minutes, right? And go, leave the home if you're not too far from your interview, so you can travel there without an anxiety. So you don't, so you're focused on your driving, focused on your, go fish, go, and being happy, positive, right? Right? The best fish that you are. And then when you pull into their parking lot, you park 20% in, 30% out. Go to your, and this is a good example, you're just you're right there. You're at your Akashic, you're not having to go through anything. You're in your Akashic record. You're sitting and you're reading a chair, and on the table is your Akashic record. And you see the whole interview. You got 28 little other interviews, how it went this way, how it went that way, right? And take that minute or so to observe that before you get out of the car and you walk into the building and you feel really good, confident. You've seen everything, all the different potentials, and you've got the best one. Go fish, go fish, go, right? And I'm right here for you. So I would suggest, if your interview is in about an hour from now, right, and you don't have to get, overly, just pick up the nuances so you can have those little threads in you, right? And when you, and get there, right? 15 minutes, you're in the parking lot, and just close your eyes, and in linear time in that parking lot, it'll only be a minute that in your state, but you can take as much time as you want. See it clearly. So I would say right now, go with our blessing. Fish, we love you. We're right behind you. We're here. We will be here the whole time going, go fish, go fish. We love you. You're successful. You're going to make it. You're going to get what you want. See it clearly, right? And I would sign off now, Fish, and get ready. Right? So sign off now. Put that outfit on. Move with determination and confidence and patience and no anxiety and not in a rush. Okay? So go on with you, buddy. We're here for you, and we're going to hold the fort, right? Later, Fish. We'll talk to you later. At the very least, give me a, sometime this afternoon, a buzz on the buddy. Fish is going off on an interview, and we're 100% behind him. Go Fish, go Fish. Yep, join the Facebook group. I think I'm gonna have to join Facebook. Anyway, so Good luck, fish. We love you. Stay well, be good. But gang, we can stay on. Go the fish. Yep. Go fish, go fish, go. Yep. So the five have. So I put up there today's topic: space jerks, and we are their orphan children. So how am I? Oh, and how are we all? How are we all? I'm doing good. I woke up. You know, I gave a little tour of Romulus 9. You know, the snow planet, the ice planet, Romulus 9, with the blood bats. You know, you got to be watching out for. And I'm stuck here up in the school. Been here with John since Friday. Haven't been able to get away. I mean, it's like ice skating rink down to the county road. Supposed to, go to 50s today and, tomorrow, and rain tomorrow. So that should get rid of this, hopefully. I hope the rain comes this afternoon and rains all night. So we're down to 3. Who are the 3? Well, Fish is going off. Buddy is here. Sarah, are you here still? So we've given Fish our blessings and in our subconscious mind. So everyone go into state. The 3 of us. I make 4. So we're going to go into state. We're going to go to our Akashic records, and we're going to look at the topic, that we are children from, we are Satan's children, basically, but not our consciousness, not our free will. That's love's unconditional love in the context of love's co-creation. See it clearly. But we're kind of, when we are here in our avatar, we're kind of stuck here. We're kind of stuck in the business plan of evil's hate. Every aspect of this place is evil's hate. And that's why we kind of have to create an alternative aesthetic. And Buddy, I think, you should be, or, like they had the band and they had the guy with a really funny hat that goes way up here with the penis stuck on a vibrator stuck on top. And you've got that silver pole, really, that you could use to make an elephant happy. And it's usually in a purple and orange suit with tassels and frills. Buddy, I think you are our band leader when it comes to taking this into the blood sport of Satan's Hollywood. We don't have to go to Hollywood. We just have to make fun of it, and that's why, Saturday Night Live is still shot in freaking New York City. They didn't move to California. They're still in the same studio that they were in, right? And I had a friend who worked at NBC, and NBC's well-being was that person to be happy. So every time that person had to come down and sign me in through security, you think that they had, nuclear weapons there. But anyway, it cost NBC and GE about $1,100 every time they had to leave their workstation, come down, sign me in, go through all the protocols. And so their boss, Tom Alfieri, head of news, gave me, I was the only human being that ever had an all-in pass to just walk into the building, right? And, after a number of times before I got my all-in pass, all the security people knew me. They said, I wish we could just let you, we had to call her down. And anyway, so Tom gives me, he goes, no one ever, I don't, I did work here before. And then he goes, well, that's why we want to give you a job, Al. I said, what's that? And she goes, well, we want to hire you to stay with your friend until they finish the project. And then we're going to fire, and then, that'll be that. But we want to give you a salary. How much? We want to pay you $1,100 a week. That'll be the check you get. You'll make $1,500. That rest is in taxes and blah, blah, blah. And your 401k and blah, blah, blah. And you're a smart guy. You might stay. This is your foot in the door at 11, you know. And I said, I don't think I can do that. And I said, what? I said, this pass is very nice. I'm very honored, especially be the only person, the first person to ever have this great honor. I really, really appreciate that, Tom. But as my sweetie, I can't just, get paid from you to keep her happy. Sorry. That means I have to think about, if I'm your employee and you're hiring me to make her do this job, no, that's not going to work. And he says, oh, well, how about $2,200 take home pay? I said, sorry. He goes, and he just, it like blew his brains, right? Because my teachers always said you can't get paid for that. That's why I was an electrician for 50 years. That's why I was all the other things I did, right? I could get paid for those things. That's why I had so many different careers, scholar, demographer, consigliere to the corporate, desperate lawyers. Hey, I could get paid for that. But my shamanic, psychosocial, cultural, forensic, anthropologic alchemy, sorry. I just am your sensei, Al Bob. So, we have to, I've been, tickling my funny bone most of the morning. There's this Mike, up to all the great 1970s and 60s sci-fi and the BBC, and I've been just kind of watching the Tomorrow people and the what was the name of that one where the guy's on the island? That one. Martin, how the heck are you, buddy? It's always good to see you all. Oh, we're down to 2. Oh, my Lord, it went to 2 at 22 minutes and 22 seconds. I love this synchronicity stuff, It keeps giving me the thumbs up that we are doing the right thing here, right? Let your... Mr. Smart Pants. Hey, look at these smart pants. Here, I'm gonna look at them smart pants. They are 12 years old and haven't been washed in all those years. That's why they're kind of stiff, Smart pants. Ooh, smart pants. I've never called myself Mr. Smart Pants. Or, buddy, were you talking about Martin? I could see Martin being Mr. Smart Pants. Oh my Lord! Holy moly! So, what are you wearing, buddy? A G-string? A gold G-string? What are you wearing? I know you, Mr. Al. Well, I got my golden, I'm that's my religion is God gave me a golden G-string, right? And how tight you can have it up your butt is really how good you are part of that religion. Really, just like the Jesuits had this, the white collar they had around there. They used to have a spike back there going to their neck, being in total unbelievable pain their whole life. And that's, made sure it got, the Nazis were the same kind of way. Those SS guys had things like that. Well, you can see that I'm in a kind of, laughing mood here. The good old times. Self-mortification. Yep. Mm-hmm. Hey, that gives me an idea. You guys talk amongst yourselves. Hello? Hello? Hi. Today's show, we're gonna interview Mike Pence, the whitest man there is. Hi, Mr. Vice President. What? I should call you Mr. President? I'm confused. Oh, Jesus told you so. While you were in the den of what? Oh, I can't talk about that. What do you mean? Oh, all of that pizza stuff? Everyone's going to be eating pizza? Really? Oh. You know, you do look a lot like Donald Sutherland during the film Hunger Games. Oh. And what? Agenda 21 is actually real? And the Georgia Stones? Oh, you put them up yourself? You want them to be like the Ten Commandments? Oh. What? You have a pizza engagement and you have to leave now? Well, okay. What, Mr. President? Okay. Ow. Oh. Oh, we got 4 people now. I just have started a course in anti what? Psychotics. You have this need to take some. Now, this is my antipsychotic hat. Creepy. Yes. Greetings, guys. Hey, Vlad. Good to see you, buddy. Let's see. Greetings, guys. Sensei Al, Bob. What do you think about Rudolf Steiner? Steiner's a great guy. I mean, it's kind of like every great guy then has schmucks as followers. I mean, Jesus is a great guy. Look what happened to him. I mean, you look at all the paintings of Jesus up on the cross, right? Are his 13 boys with him? No. The girls are, Magdalene and the smart ones. And that was really Jesus's cadre, his chorus. I have a chorus, and I always have a chorus. Just jokes. Of course, buddy. Before I put the hat on, maybe, another thing, I want to start a religion so we can, start passing the plate and not have to pay taxes. And I started one, eons ago, where it was the Universal Church of the Most Immaculate Oven Mitt. And I was working for a lawyer, and I was writing these grants. This is where I got good at writing grants. And we were writing for all these religions, and these guys were just, soiled schmucks and starting, in their garage a religion and then not paying taxes, right? So we started one, and my coworker was a stone cold atheist, right? Because his parents were like Methodist ministers, and he just anyway. So and he was so serious about it, and I said, "Buddy, not buddy, you buddy, but my buddy, the lawyer." I said, "You're changing your one religion for another, So come on, where are you going to go with this, So I said, let's have some fun with this. Forget you being always angry. Let's have some fun. He goes, what do you mean? I said, let's make up our own religion. So we did, right? And so we put in the paperwork, and we've been writing these grants now for months for scumbags. So we put it in just like that. We got it right. It's like everything within the construct of a oligarchy. And, schools, I mean, if you write the paper that teacher wants, you get an A. Even if it's totally lies, even it's totally, as long as it's like stroking their ego and their belief structure, then you'll get an A. You rock the boat, forget it, right? I mean, I took a creative writing course. I mean, that was what it was called, right? And I wrote a short story about, in the near future, we will all have to pay for our drinking water, and it will come in single servings, right? And we will have to pay for our air. Our air will be taxed. We may own our house, but everything underneath it, all the mineral rights will be owned by corporations, and we will live in just one big corporation, the Umbrella Group, right? And this is before that movie where that girl was, poisoned. Before the band Poison, actually. Anyway, so I wrote this story, and it was quite good. And actually, you could see parts of it in, if you go to my blogspot, xratted.blogspot.com, you will see, that story. It's much better because it's years later. And I had, see, I told you so. I mean, I was talking about global warming before global warming because I read a synopsis of a banking group in the 1880s who said that this was going to happen, right? And and they had this meeting every 2 years afterwards, and it was investment groups and bankers. And Rockefeller sent one of his guys there, and they were talking about oil, right? And the scientists were saying oil is the synovial fluid of the earth, right? And they were talking about all the different ways you could get it out, including fracking in the 1890s. And so they said that this oil was from the dinosaur period, right? So the oil guys from the Rockefellers came up with the idea. What do they call oil? It's from they basically, it's got a name to it, but it's like dinosaur guts, right? But that's not what they call it. And they use that as propaganda to say that we're going to run out of oil, so we're going to have to jack up the price here, So that's what that story is called, Ray. Of all the different cuts, you go down the cuts and look for the story called Ray. And, And I would suggest a number of people are starting to read this stuff, and you're reading it like the Bible, which is okay, but don't start off there. Kind of just read it lightly, without any kind of real, and you just go through it and enjoy it. And then the Blu-ray. No, not the Blu-ray, buddy. Close. Ray, the God of Gold. That's what it's about. So, it's about mass consumption, right? And it's kind of my version of the Coda myth about, plum and corn. So, oh, I see. You all make me laugh. And I keep asking you, guys, I could use some cash here. A gratuity, please. Send it to me, Western Union, to Al, Martino, at Roanoke, Virginia, and then send me the routing number to the Dude Awake 42 at Gmail. And a number of you have sent me something, and that has been great. And it works great, and it's like bing, bang, boom, bing, bing, boom, 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 boom. And a lot of you have sent really sweet things to my P.O. Box 1165 in Virginia 24179. So, any gratuities my way would be great, right? Right now, I've been stuck here, so I haven't really spent any money, So the $32 that I got in my wallet is working because I'm not spending anything. I got 8. Well, bud, you keep that 8. When you got 8 billion or 800 billion or 8,000 or 8,000 or 8 bucks in a zillion. Yeah, I know. You guys, you can send me a postcard, buddy. I'd love a postcard from you. You know. I mean, the thing that emotionally I like best is all the little cards and packages and things that all you guys have all these worldviews on what vitamin would be good for me, this, that, and you've sent me a lot of really yummy things and things that actually someone sent me carbon 60, I think is what it's called, and that stuff is actually pretty amazing, very very good. I have to find someplace around here that sells it. But because I'm not on Amazon, I don't have a credit card, I don't have any kind of anything of that ilk. But none of us will very soon. This window of opportunity that we have for change, which equals half a cup of coffee over where you is. Okay. I don't know. Okay. I can go to the library and their coffee is for $1 I get a little cup. Not a big cup, but a little cup. A pretty good coffee. But, what the powers that shouldn't be have in line for us is, this new, they're not even going to call it a friggin' New World Order. No. It's going to be called Amazon Platinum Prime Social Mobility, right? And they have, Amazon has stores in California. Everything starts in California, where you walk in, right? And you've signed up and you're in Amazon Prime and you walk in and you have shown them your face on your cell phone, right? So it's in their thing, right? And they've hooked up to your credit card, your bank thing, all the rest, right? So you walk into that store and there's a screen and you tap the things you want and a cart comes out. Right. And then they have shelves and the store. I don't know if any of you guys had seen Repo Man, right? And it's kind of in this black and white, but color thing, but everything is white and black, but it's a color film. And there's a scene where they go into like a supermarket and every box is white with letters on it, like spaghetti, toothpaste, and they're all in the same box and they all have names on it, and it's so it's just this like crack cocaine powder, and everyone gets it, and when they see the name and then they snort it, they think they're having a spaghetti dinner. They think they're brushing their teeth, they think they're having a glass of orange juice. And that's what this Amazon corporate platinum prime mind control materialism is going to be, and they're rolling it out now, right? And Donnie's going, should I have should I declare martial law? Shouldn't I? Should I close down the border? Shouldn't I? And while people are like going without food stamps, etc. And so that's why this is such a great time, because this is a time, if the human race does not wake up, if the American public does not wake up, if, more folk don't, there's a girl, not just her, but there's a whole class of young folk who are on YouTube, who are traveling the world, and they've got 8 zillion followers, and they go all over the place, right? And they are the most privileged, white, their hair is in dreads, and they don't even know what dreads are. They just, it looks cool. They don't know the religious significance of it, And they, if you said Marcus Garvey, they go, "Is that a new cheeseburger at Hardee's?" So if those kids and everybody else doesn't wake up, because this girl, his parents are sending her around, and she's got a GoPal account that she's making millions, right? And that guy Pootie Face, who's the most, he puts a YouTube up and 3 million people watch it in a half an hour. When, the seven of you here, I really love, you are the cadre. So if those folks cannot realize that they are like that far away from being in the arms of love's co-creation and under the boot of Satan, right? And we have to everyone gets off the bus here, everyone gets to go home. The insectoids, the reptiles, the grays, and the zillions of other soulless creatures, they all get to go home, right? They all get to go to love's co-creation. They all get to go in the superconscious mind. I mean, you all have been there. You've all been in your sanctuaries of your own choosing. So here we are, 41 minutes and 41 seconds. I love it when that happens. So tonight, what should we talk about? Where should we go? What did you guys think about visiting the dimension of the Bigfoot? Bam! Yes, they got a store like that, and that's the test store. Yep, they got it. And they've had it for a number of years too. Sniffy. Yep. So keep breathing. So what did you think of Bigfoot's dimension? What did you think? Buddy, did you go to the Bigfoot land? Didn't you, the Bigfoot, they have the same sense of humor as you. Didn't you like, comrade? Yes, you were like at one with the Bigfoot, right? Me too. All of us were, because there was so many different clans of the Bigfoot. There is enough diversity in Bigfoots that everyone can find their clan within the Bigfoot dimension, right? But see how the Bigfoot just comes here and just has a good time, and then it turns left and disappears, giggling the whole way. Yep. So tonight, where do we want to go? I get all my ideas of what I'm talking about, the subject matter, when you decided to visualize a scene. We here can very easily see it. Yep. I know. Because you are good adepts. You have been practicing, And so you realize, I do want to do my homework, but just breathing 20% more isn't homework. Avalon. Okay. Give me your image of Avalon. All of you. All 6 of you. What do you think Avalon is? What do you want to know about Avalon? All of the above. And we're going to be doing this more and more because this is what a cadre is, It's a consensus. It's I don't like to use the word collective, We have to find a better word. Again, this is alternative aesthetics. We have to have a new lexicon, right? But certain words they can't take over, like cadre. Can't do that, Shock troops can't take, even the Nazis who tried, because those shock troops were pussies. They had big bad guns. They intimidated old women and children and killed them and burned them. First people had flamethrowers with those guys, and they went into towns in Poland and all eastern neck of the woods. And if anyone said, "Wait a minute, what do you guys want?" And they just didn't barbecue that guy. They barbecued everyone. That scene out of Captain America, the first one, where the Red Skull guy goes into that Finland country and looks for the blue cube. Duh. Ice cube, where are you going to find it? In a really cold place. You don't go looking in, Saudi Arabia, Just common sense, right? I mean, the Red Skull guy, he just had a good deal of common sense. Okay, I'm a smart guy, but this nerdy German scientist over, I'm giving him the cube and letting him figure it out, right? He knew how to delegate, and he found all those clowns, one head cut off, two heads grow back, and ready to. So those morons. No, Avalon, not feeling it. Okay. So, well, tell me your feelings of Avalon. Legend Island, maybe we can meet Morgan Le Fay, Arthur's sister. Okay. Getting closer there. Well, you guys have already met her. She's called the Old Frigging Crone. Right? Go back in your Akashic record. Take a look. Do. So what are you feeling, buddy? And everybody else. And, Vlad, I'm not taking Avalon off the plate, but it's going to be Avalon with this hat on. Avalon, me, I'm your Sensei Al Bob. You don't really know me too well. Well, you're getting to know me better. Yes. No, like I said, I didn't take it off the plate. I'm just looking at it's never any one place. I mean, if you've been going back and rewatching the evening chats, and probably would be good. And you don't have to watch them religiously, like from the beginning to the end. It's freaking 3 hours. No, but you can zip through them and use your intuition. Like, doodle, stop. Oh, look at that. Okay, if something's interesting there, listen to that. Move on. You can, look at it probably in 15 minutes, right? Because what it'll do is you kind of boop, 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 skip through it. Well, it's like in your Akashic record, So by you going through it, and then every time you kind of stop at something, go, oh, that's interesting, close your eyes and go in your Akashic record. That's how you're going to utilize your Akashic record better and better. That's why I tell you these stories, because they connect. Sensei Bob, what do you think? Is the old crone still alive? The old crone is eternal, right? She's not going nowhere. She's not here. But she's not dead, because none of us die. Even you, Vlad, go on forever, right? So, no, she's not dead, And, hey, we went to her farmhouse just the other night and partied for David Bowie's birthday. And did she look dead there? No. When we went into Satan's office building, she... Saint Germain and Love's Co-Creation, along with me and a bunch of others, went with you all, in that nice little bubble of Love's Co-Creation, where we went into Satan's town, Babylon, went into his pyramid, tower, went all the way up to the capstone, right, where the insectoids and the owners are, and saw the two columns of ant and turtle and your beloved, right? So, she was right there with us there. If we decide to go to her place in this 3D material world, do you think we would find her there? Well, if we get the circus together, if we take this on the road, if we have the Humanities Artist Trust International as the 501c3 umbrella tax-free, and have our Institute for Aesthetically Adept and Appropriate Technology, and have our outside media representative of the Traveling Video Art Circus, and we go to colleges and start bringing in the young and old and everybody else, waking them up. If we do that, she will walk through the door and be part of the circus. I mean, physically, you'll be able to touch her and she will be right there. But she's not coming into visual 3D, you know, moron Satan world until there's a good reason. Why should she? She's got that beautiful little farmhouse to hang out in, right? I wouldn't go unless I had to, and I do. So here I am. That's why I'm doing this, right? And that's why I'm wearing this funny hat, because it's fun. I like wearing it. I like having fun. So this whole little project I'm putting together, you as the cadre, it's yours too. It's not just mine. It's not just has my name on it. No, but we pull this off together. I will be remembered a little bit long. I mean, I'm remembered by thousands. This way we'll bring everyone home back to love's co-creation. That'll be a larger crew than just my friends and cadres. So that's where we're at. And yes, she'll come back, and you can listen, Vlad. You go into state, you go into your sanctuary of your own choosing, and she'll be there waiting for you. She'll be up on, she'll be the person up on the gazebo. So that's where we're going to start tonight. I just got a flash. I'm going to have some kind of story to warm up the crowd until everyone's there. And then we're going to go into state. We're going to go into our Akashic record. We're going to empty all our anger and fear, and then go through the open door of our, superconscious mind, the sanctuary of our own choosing. And instead of just laying down on our blankie, we're going to go up to the gazebo, right? And we can all meet whoever. Vlad seems want to hang with the old crone. You all can hang with the old crone or anybody else you want to bring out. And that is going to be your, you can bring your guys from your Akashic record into your sanctuary. But you see what they do. They just go jump in the lake and splash each other and have a jolly old good time. And then, go on the blanket and roll around on that and get grass clippings on it and eat everything out of the basket. But that's okay, because your basket is the cornucopia, that little horn that has unending amount of food. That's the way the world is. We live in this world, this illusion world is not a world of scarcity. It's a world of abundance, meaning I lived out in the woods all summer long. And 80% of the food I ate was the things growing in that forest. And there were so many berries, just berry, every kind, and they kept changing all season long. And there were all kind of leafy things that were just like lettuce, And I made salads with them and put salad dressing and sliced up a little cheese and put it in there. And so that was 80% of what I ate. The other 10% was at IHOP, because that was my cultural spot. And the other 10% was stuff I got with, at the, and if you guys come to the Deep Green, there is such an amazing farmer's market. And all of these people grow or make the food. They don't go down to some warehouse and buy some tomatoes that the supermarket gets and then sells them as the farmer's market. No, this is stuff these people. So the little set of cucumbers being this big, they're about this big. Instead of eggplant being this big, it's like this big. But they grew them with love. They're all grown with love. Man, taste the difference. So the other 10% I was there because if I use my BET, my food stamp card, they would give me 4 times the food that using that card in the supermarket. I mean, these people are righteous. And they have baked goods and all those kind of things. Yeah, you got to spend your own money on that stuff. But it's still really, this one guy who's a French pastry chef, the bread he makes, the croissants he makes, right? And he makes it all with non-processed everything, right? So I can actually eat it without it sending my blood sugar off the chart. Anyway, so that's what you got to look forward to come and visit me at the Deep Green, right? And that's our base of operations. That's where we can, strategize how we're going to do all of this, because I'm giving you the ideas, the major big picture strategy, and I can go micro if I need to. I have that skill set. But no, the way this works the best is with the long house strategy. That's right, bud. Your eye is the gateway. No kidding. That is but it's just the gateway here. Your eye is kind of set up to see through the fog of the illusion. Your heart, the eye, and your third eye is connected. There's a little nerve, that goes from your pineal gland to your heart. And that is a sensory mechanism of your free will. And buddy, you got that in spades. We all do. You wouldn't be the cadre if you didn't. But buddy is the skilled cheeky monkey, but I'm the big daddy of cheeky monkeys, Previous comments. Oh, I never look back. If you're keeping an eye on these things, buddy, bring it up and or contact me on, buddy, you need to contact me. We have to have more of a conversation on the Dude Awake 42 at Dreamland, And again, I don't know how many times I've said this, but don't believe anything I say, I am your griot. I do. It's what you feel from the story that counts. You can't nail me down on any specific, you said this here and then said that. No, I'm sorry. That's not how it works. Exactly. And I love it, buddy. You keep me on my toes, so I'm giving you the 411 on the thing. Again, buddy, your heart is everyone here. None of you are any better than the rest. There's 300 or getting towards 300 who watch this, but they don't have the gumption to jump in the pool here in the chat. And in a way, that's good, because if 300 people were chatting, I couldn't even read anything. It would just be this. I go to people's, because I look at other people, live chats. The only live chat I really like is Richard Dolan's. And the other one I like is Jimmy Dore. I don't know if his is even, I don't even think he's just a stand-up comedian, but I really like him. And Bill Maher is another person. And those guys don't have live chats. Richard, what's his name? Dolan, he does have a live chat. And those people are, again, he doesn't have 8 zillion people chatting at once. He probably has 20 to 40 people chatting, and they're all thoughtful. They don't put anything down without really thinking about it. And that's why I'm not going to have a wrench. This is a wrenchless environment. No one's controlling nothing. You guys can say whatever you can, and that's the word, can, because you're kind of limited to how many words, right? So I think that's the only limitation, right, that I'm having here. No wrenches, no moderators, nobody throwing anybody out. Yep, beautiful darlings. Exactly, buddy. Yep. No, yep, that's buddy. Beautiful darling, we is, yes. We is that. Yep. And just look at that hat. Don't that look like a beautiful darling hat? Yes, it does. Okay, hey, look, it's almost 60-60. It's 59-50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Yep. 1 hour. Keep going past the 1 hour mark. Okay. let's look at what people are saying. Buddies being the chatty monkey. Vlad, yep, boop, 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 boop. And Vlad, my friend, I never come down on anybody. Don't really. I love you all. There is no, like, even anxiety or nothing, right? I just, sometimes get a little tired repeating the same thing over and over. But I'm your Sensei Al Bob. That's part of my job, having to, calmly, with love, keep saying the things you need to hear, right? So you will become those things you need to hear. Because I'm saying what's inside of you that you're not saying to yourself. And that's part of what a sensei can do, right? And that's why the sensei needs the kind of, adepts that you are, right? You're not Padawans, you're not little children. You are seekers, and not just quote unquote the truth. You are seeking the only thing that is the only real thing. We're living in this illusion world. This it's the world of hell. Now, hell can be nice. Hell has some pretty interesting distractions, but that's really all it is: interesting distractions. Whereas love's co-creation is the whole ball of wax. Yeah, and it's not God and not Jesus. And Jesus, Vishnu, Buddha, and other avatars. That's what they were. They were avatars. They were folk who were, a lot more. I'm just your Sensei Al Bob. I'm your teacher. I'm no avatar. Right? I'm working. I'm moving forward. I'm ascending. It's all good. But this was the job given to me back in the day. At again, if you go to X-rated, XRATTED.blogspot.com and read the story about where I was in Las Vegas, where Bob is God. That's kind of why I'm, Sensei Owl Bob. And Bob is the physical thing of love's co-creation. And when love's co-creation wants to hang loose, it's Bob, the real, the most holy dude. I'm just the dude awake. Wook. My little thing is coming apart. Anyway, you read that. It's quite theologic, and it's really funny. You'll like it, because it takes place in Bob's most favorite titty bar, where he gets the best lap dances, right? It's called the Salty Dog. And the big neon picture is a dog masturbating and shooting off. Well, see, Bob likes it. It's lit me up there, And that was photonic light, not, Satan's gray mist. And that's what the chemtrails are. It's more and more and more of that false illumination. See it clearly. Yep. Okay, so 1 hour. So we got, I'd say, another half an hour to chat away. And I'm getting a firmer picture of what we're going to do tonight, and where we're going to go, and what we're going to see. And so I would suggest the 8 of you and the others who are watching but not taking part of the chat kind of get in your head, because you folk who don't take part of the chat influence the show energetically, And again, you can always get a hold of me, any of you who want to talk, not with the World Wide Web watching, at thedudewake42@gmail. I'm there. And a lot of you can tell the rest of the cadre that you can go to me and I can give you some pretty good personal insight, right? I'm always there for you all the time. Right? I love you guys. Elizabeth, we love you too. Yes, we do. I love you all. In every day, in every way, you help me take the piece of the earth and make it stronger. We love you, buddy. And we folded you in there the first time you showed up. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. As it was in the beginning, is now, ever shall be, world without amen. I got the low battery. Oh, so I gotta go plug it in. Oh, I had to walk anyway. Okay, I'm walking. Breathing deep. Breathing that 20%. Illuminate yourself with that photonic light of your breath from the prana that is all here. Prana that gives us our presence, our animation. Okay, plug it in, see what happens. Oh, we're still there. We didn't even get dropped down. Well, yes, we did. Slide. I'm still back. Am I here? Did I go anywhere? Yoo-hoo. You hear me? Good. Thank you, Sarah. Uncle Pugnuts, there you are. Buddy. Elizabeth Brown. Where are you from, Elizabeth? What neck of the woods? You know, everybody here is from all over the friggin' planet. And pretty much, I have no idea what gender or species any of our cadre is. And Elizabeth, you got your heart up there showing that that's really where you're coming from. And you got your face there. So, and you're using your name. So we know who you are. And we love you for that. Yep. And I love everyone else, no matter how they put themselves down there, right? Because we all know who we are. We have shared enough experience in these chats to, we are a clan, The members of this channel are the cadre. They, 200 and whatever, heading towards 300. They are cadre. They're not subscribers. I really don't like that concept. But the clan that comes back, the 10 to 30 of you that appears on the chat, you're the clan. Yep. Homo superior. Well, I'd like to see one of those. You know who Homo superior was? Neanderthal. He had a bigger brain. He had more compassion. He was, he ate berries and things from the woods, and he made art. The biggest thing, Neanderthal did was make art, not hunt, not, have a business or a bank. South England, beautiful. I got married in Woking. Everywhere you go, there you is. Yep. Everywhere I am. Much love. Yes, and that's the beauty of this chat, is because everyone is realizing that love's co-creation is the only thing that exists.
So we are waking up. Every time we do this chat, we wake up more and more and more. Right. And again, the frame is love's unconditional love, but the structure is getting, better and better because, especially in the evening shows, the morning shows are good too, but the evening shows are built upon the frame of what we talk about in the morning, and then it's more structured, but not in a dogmatic kind of way. And even when people go, oh, we're consensus, blah blah. I mean, those every kind of structure of that nature is really just another frame of a dogmatic religious structure, right? But we, on the other hand, are very all over the place. I tell the story on the sideband over here. You guys chat over there. Every 5 to 20 minutes, I stop and read each one out loud, which, ferments the storyline. And that is truly what the Griot does. The Griot tells a story that brings thoughts to the listener. The listener brings those thoughts to the griot. The griot brings them back into the storyline, and that's the structure. It's that, and it's not even chaos. See, chaos is what Lucifer is, right? But we're not, and that's why there's chaos theory, and it shows some kind of dogmatic structure. But we're not there. We're not chaotic because the frame that we are coming from, each and every one of us, is love's co-creation. So we are the third party in this at all times is love's co-creation. That's what brings that structure you're talking about. Arcturian, more robust structure. Oh, I'm homo everything. I'm homo. I think I've told you this story. So I'm like, I am so poor. How poor are you, Sensei Elbob? I'm so poor that they make you come back and re-sign up for food stamps and every kind of thing they give you, like every 4 months, right? And they treat you like a criminal. Except if you're a criminal and you have a little packet of all your information, it's like just stamped it. Bing, okay, here it is. We turn it on. But me, I have to fill out all these forms. So I say, hey, I can't see. You got to help me. If you want me to fill out this form, you got to, my handwriting. So, they said, no, fill it out. So I'll be sitting right in front of them and I will take a crayon out of my pocket and start, drawing stick figures. And that's when they go, okay, here, let's do it. And they have all the information on the freaking computer, so they don't have to like ask me a question. I just keep. There's a couple of questions. Are you a U.S. citizen? Are you, Then they say, what, race are you? And I will say, human. And they get real. No. What race are you in? I said, foot race, endurance race. And then they get just fed up and just push the button, and I get my pittance. Well, I'm a night owl too, but the night owl can see really well. Back in the day when I could see like an owl, I was an owl. Now I can barely see. So what's strange is I can see really good from the tip of my car out about a quarter mile. You can see that pretty good. So I can see well enough to drive around. When they give me the eye thing, I can do that. From about 4 feet to the tip of my nose, it's all a blur. So when people are standing somewhere between the tip of my nose and 15 feet away, all I can see is like a gray frame, right? Now I can see their energetic field really well, and so that's when I like that person. That one not so much. Cadre, that's us, buddy. We are the kids. Oh, let's see. It's not even frigging noon yet. So, in the night, there's peace and the mind feel. Exactly. But some people can't shut their mind up, right? A lot of people, you know. JB is really he's the poster child of the canary in the coal mine. You know, he just goes. And even at night, some people at night it's even worse. They can't even sleep. That's the people who are insomniacs. Has anyone had insomnia? I will give you. I have no problem sleeping. You know, all I have to do is like meditate, and I hit this fork in the road, and I either go to deep sleep or into my Akashic record, right? So, back in the days, in the 90s, early 90s ish, I had a teacher, a rabbi, Rabbi Ratner, really great man, and he was on the board of the group that put together the Holocaust Museum in D.C. Right. So I had known him for a number of years, and he had seen me, all the different kinds of art and lighting and film and movies and video and all of this kind of stuff that I would do. He comes to me and says, "Listen, Al, the museum's going to open soon, and it's like 99.9% done. But you told me that story and how you got Xenon's the disco tech. It was like 99% done, but it didn't work. Well, we're in that same predicament. We have all these multimedia things and all these and they were all done by different people, and none of these apparatuses talk to each other, or work or anything." And I said, "Well, who's the best computer IT female that you know?" And he goes, "Oh, I know just the person. She actually lives in D.C. and da 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 da. She's the daughter of another rabbi friend of mine, and she's brilliant." I said, "Okay, can she? If I go there now, can she take off from what is she doing and help me out?" And he goes, "Yep, not a problem." So I show up, and I get there, and he goes, "Well, we're really strapped, so we can't put you in a hotel like you're used to. But there's a hostel, and we got you signed up there." And I went there, and it was worse than the frigging mission here. They had people sleeping in bunk beds that were 9 people high. Boom, 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 right? And it was first come, first serve, and you couldn't hold it, right? You had to get out in the morning, and when you came back, you couldn't come back before 7, and you couldn't get. So everybody, when the bell rang, everyone ran to get their their uh, their bunk on the lower beams, and I basically was, starting to be, old Sensei Al Bob, instead of the young, athlete who could outrun everyone, like I was up until I was about 52. I was in pretty amazing shape up until about 52. Anyway, the first night I did that, I got a bunk, and somebody was really nice. All the bunks were filled except the ones that were like on the ceiling, and I had to climb up there. And I said, "That's not going to happen." And this one guy said, "Oh, you can have mine," and it was, bunk number 2, which was, I could get into that. So I get into it and turn the lights out. Somebody turns the lights out, and this guy starts screaming, "Ah, ah, ah, ah," because something happened to him in the dark. So we had to turn the lights back on. Instead of that guy going someplace else to sleep so we could all turn the lights out and go to sleep, no. We had to keep the lights on for that guy, right? So, every time somebody would come in to climb up to the top bunk, like an hour later, he'd turn off the lights, and then the guy would scream and wake us all up. So the next night, I said, "Screw it, I'm not sleeping in that piece of crap." And so I slept out on the couch in the day room. But that was, the lights and people, no one slept, and they were all yakking away and playing guitars, and it was a hostel. So I said, "Fuck this shit." So that second night, I went out, and I bumped into a woman who I had known from the Xenon days, and her daddy was, a senator or something. She was one of the club kids, and she was a big, how can I say, purveyor of the chemical necessities of a rave. right? And so, anyway, I bumped into her coming out of this hostel, and she's, dressed up like a club kid, and now she's, in her 30s. And, well, everyone is a historical denier, you know? History is a joke, Thucydides, who is the daddy of written history, before it was guys like me telling a story, like Sophocles, right? So, since him, it's always, I love, I wish Donald Trump would go the full bore. When he says fake news, he should go back to all our history is fake news. Everything, Pulitzer, Hearst, fake news. All the wars, fake news. All our enemies, fake news. Then he'd be a righteous dude. Right now, he's just a putz, being his strengths are being pulled, right? But he can't help himself. So, I mean, the powers that be who put him in there did not expect what they got, right? And that's the beauty of Donald Trump, the unexpected consequences. The same thing with Mike Pence and everybody else in that scene. They are not what they seem. All history is a lie. I mean, go read, what's his name's, American History. Howard Zinn's American History. Go read that. That'll give you just lift a veil. And from his little book list of all the things that he proves that what he's saying is true, that really is the beauty of Howard Zinn's American History, is his little list of books, that you go read those books. That's when you can see. So what you're saying, Fugnuts, is right on, but just bits. Yeah. I mean, everyone is a denier, The Nazis are deniers. I mean, everyone is. And see, the thing about 6 million people got burnt, sliced, but they weren't all Jews. They were gypsies and Methodist priests and nuns and literary people who didn't believe in anybody's God. Everybody who did not drink the Kool-Aid of the National Socialist Party, when they were called work camps. They just worked you to death. And people who were, not valued high enough. You know why the Jews were put in the camps? The number one reason was that Mr. Mengele needed an unlimited resource of a single genome, meaning a group of people who weren't mutts. And those Jews, especially the Orthodox ones, were it. So they and see, you have to realize the difference between Jews and Hebrews. The Hebrew people came out of North Africa, right? They were the 12. This is before they even called themselves any of that. And so, but they had a business empire, and they were Orthodox Christians, and that religion is something interesting to go study. And so they kind of went a little too deep into the Tsar's business plan. And so he came out and just stepped on their neck and put the sword to them and said, listen, buddy, we're all criminals here. No one's telling the truth, but you have to respect this authority. I'm strong enough. If you come into my little zone, I'm going to just fuck you up. But you do things that I like. You fuck with the Roman Empire. You fuck with these guys. You fuck with those guys. That's all good. You have to do two things. One, you guys are berserkers. You have no religion except killing and drinking blood, So you believe in Baal. Big deal. Bottom line is, you have to pick a religion. It could be Jewish, it could be Muslim, it could be Christian. We don't care. Just pick one and go under that guy so we can blame those people. We're Orthodox Christians, so we're not the Holy Roman Empire. We're not Jewish. We're not Muslim. So pick one of those three and get out of our neighborhood, and we'll let you go. We'll even let you go with your booty. Just get the fuck out of here. So they did. And they picked to be the Hebrews, but they didn't like those guys, so they called them, because they had so much bling. They would go into, different parts of Europe And Jews were not allowed to be part of the political structure or be part of the religious structure or be part of the scholastic structure or be part of owning property. And in businesses, you had to own, the ownership class. The other people were just, not even that. Worker drones. They owned shops. They owned, places to eat in, right? So the Jews couldn't even do that because nobody wanted to eat in their place or do anything these Khazarians or Anunnaki wanted. So they became jewelers because they had all this bling because they just keep robbing people. And they would just keep the shit that they could transport easily, which was bling. So when they kind of started to go into Europe, Middle Europe, Western Europe, the kings needed money to fight their wars. So they would go to the Anunnaki who had bling, diamonds, rubies, gold, bling. And they would say, okay, you can, go get those guys over there who are going to give you weapons and armies, and we will hold this bling here, and we'll give you a little note saying that you can borrow the value of this bling against the shit you need. And that's where banking came from. And then the whole concept of Babylon, money magic, the Anunnaki picked right up and brought straight into Europe, and that's where the Rothschilds came from. He's part of that scene. So when the Nazis, came on board, they just went and took these guys' bling, the Jews, and the Anunnaki kind of stood back and kind of blurred into the populace. But once they kind of got rounded up, they said, listen, we don't like any of these people as much as you do. And we're not really Hebrews. We're the Anunnaki. And we are Zionists. And they're the guys, the Balfour Agreement, they're the guys who played the Balfour Agreement. And they said, listen, this is what it's about. There's all this oil here. We're going to play the Arabs against each other. Well, we're going to, set up this thing, and we will serve you Nazi motherfuckers, right? And you want to put us in those work camps, those death camps? We'll run them for you. So, Dragon, when you were talking about, Holocaust deniers, blah, 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 that's all it is. Start looking, open your freaking eyes, all of you. I keep giving you things to look. I mean, all you really, forget reading Howard Zinn's American History. Go to your Akashic record. That is a one dynamic text you can go to that you can kind of bet on and start to do your homework from there. I've given you guys the access to one of the most amazing, what would you call it? Intelligence organizations that's been around since the Big Bang. The Mossad, and the best intelligence entity on the face of the earth is the Catholic Church in Rome, in the city of the Catholic Church there in Rome, right? The Pontiff has the best intelligence. They got satellites up there too. They were the first ones, right? Hubble telescope was paid for by the Catholic frigging Church. NASA is owned by the Catholic frigging Church. And, don't trust anything I say. Don't believe in anything I say. Go to your Akashic record. And then don't believe that. But that will give you lots of heads up about where you can go look at other things that people who are scholastics, those tenured professors who publish books, you can go read them, and I would start with Howard Zinn's American History. And if you want a book list, I'll give you one, that you can go to Barnes and Noble or, Amazon. Do. Exactly. Every time I hear someone say, I don't know, I say, now there is a smart person. How little you know. I know zip, zero, zilch. It isn't in large cities. Yep. It's as you all say, wherever we go, there you are. Yes, I like that, buddy. In many places, it does not matter now is the only now. Exactement. And past and future are just points of reference. Don't make me rumble you. Bring it. Rumble and Sensei Al Bob's Jungle. Yep. Rumble in the Bronx. Rumble in the ha 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 ha. Exactly. Yeah, it's the Pisces. Ooh, look, you got to watch out for those guys. With only a feather duster and good intentions. That's the best thing to be armed with, buddy. Dragon armed with a bag of feathers and tar. You got to be quicker. I think, the feather duster has more. The thing about feather dusters and tar is it's very easy to get them on yourself. No tar, thanks. Okay, we're rounding around 1 hour and 33 minutes and 33 seconds, and we're having just a good old time here. Let's turn this way. Yes, that puts better light on me. Bam! Do you guys ever watch Oppenheimer Ranch with Diamond? In your face, right? And he says bam all the time. Feathers fly everywhere. Yep. And so does tar. Plenty of good hugs. That is the best sword I know. Good hugs. It totally takes the evil out of everyone. Boom time. That's right. Boom time. So I love that guy. He's another person I really have respect and care about. But he can go off, he's another guy who thinks he's just because. Did you know that he's actually related to Dr. Oppenheimer, who made the atomic bomb? I mean, that's his last name. Either his grandson or his nephew or something like that. And he gets off on tangents that are a bit, too long in the tooth. Mine, they last, I don't know, a few minutes, right? No longer than an hour. And then I'm on to something else. But always connected. And what thread? Loves co-creation. Right? Release the Ewoks. Yep. He's way cool. Exactly. Way cool. And he is the best on his when he is focused on his weather thing. I met him at a conference once, and he really is a scientist. And he's got all the degrees and everything. I guess you have to be if you're related to Oppenheimer. But at that conference, he was like all Mr. Buttoned Down. But when I kind of rolled into him into the hotel restaurant / bar, he was a lot loosened up, and he was pretty funny. That's when I said, And then when I noticed a few years later that he actually had that site, actually someone turned me on to him, and I said, "Wow, there he is." So he's a really great guy, and everyone who tries, I have to say, at least you're trying. But if you let yourself get too attached to that you are, you know, and you're the best and you're the cool and da da da. There's so many, I know I am just a moron Ewok, with funny hats. Not an interview. Let's see. I just bump into people. So, if any of these kind of people, like Kerry Cassidy, which I have no idea who that is, wants to, give them my, the Dreamer, no, that's not that. It's the Dude Awake 42 at Gmail, right? Or tell them to come watch A Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Albob, or go read stuff on X-Rated. I mean, turn me on to everybody. Open the, let loose the Kraken, go for it, And so anybody who you think is cool, I mean, even the people who are somewhat, they're boring, or I can still talk to them and still like them. I mean, I look at all these folk and say, okay. But, when every single, chat you have is about how terrible Donald Trump is, or how great Donald Trump is, or, QAnon is going to save us, or, we're going to have martial law, or we're going to, Nehru is going to, good luck. If Nehru comes here, that's fine. Meaning, when that effect will occur, the thing about, galactic effects like that, like an X flare, right? It'll happen. The scientists will know maybe 15, 20 minutes before it hits us like a ton of bricks. But the rest of us will be like, do. And before we can finish the last do, we'll be gone. We'll be toast. We'll be incinerated, And what better way to go than like in a flash of light like that? And that's why in every day, in every way, you have to take the piece of the earth and make it stronger with love's co-creation, because then you're ready to go. I mean, I've died 6 times. I'm ready to go. Am I ever? And that's why I know I'm not going until I've completed the task. And I'm getting there with you guys. If we can take this thing on the road, get all of that stuff, going along with a nice structure, and I can leave it in your guys' hands, then I'm going home. So, and I won't be put in the wearing blender of, go to the light. I will go to love's co-creation. That's where I'm headed. So, and maybe, no, I don't know if I'll be talked into it again well, we got one last thing for you to do down there. Come on. I said, no, hey, if my cadre can't get it done without me, then it's not worth getting done, right? That's the kind of faith I have in you folks, my cadre. Torn asunder, yep. Pretty much, I think that's why I'm losing my sight. I'll still be able to drive. I'll be cold stone blind and still be able to get in my wagon there and drive anywhere. I may not see the, the speed traps. Oh, Project Camelot, that is. See, I know these things, I just don't know them. Sure, if you can get a hold of her and wing her my way, or anybody, I love that crew. Again, they're a little bit stuck, but that's okay. So aren't we all? I loved Battlestar Galactica with things like, and so say we all, those kind of things, and that they always got drunk. They were really fastidious about. They were really good at getting the job done and keeping the eye on the ball. That's how they could, go up against all those robots and still have a good time. But half the time they were getting drunk and getting laid. And now, if you can't spend half your time saving the soul of the universe and getting drunk and getting laid at the same time, half the time, then hey, I mean, that's all right. You all put me in a good mood. Every time you all show up, you all say things that put me in a good mood. Every single one of you, right? There isn't a point here that I'm thumbing through that, oh, why does that person? No, that you all belong here. You all the cadre. The folks who come into the chat, you are the shock troops. And, if you want a good, Buddy is a shock troop. Dragon, Jane, you know, Valad, S2, Wind. You're all Elizabeth, shock troops. And I love you all. And you're all special. That's what I love about this crew, is that you're not in some, you're not shepherd wives. You're not all, none of you are like any of you, but you all appreciate each other. You all are like, instead of like, oh, you kind of make fun with each other, right? Yes, you do. And you have free speech as long as you agree with the majority. See? And not even the majority, just in the tribe that you're with. I mean, we don't even have a majority. But here, we all agree with each other because we love each other, not because we agree with what we're each saying. We read what each of us is saying, and we respect, honor, and appreciate everything that you're saying, even if it kind of rubs up against somebody's worldview. Yes, more attention, more public. But I'm not. I'm more about quality rather than quantity. I'm more about creating, first and foremost, this aesthetic alternative. And you really can't do that with like 7,000 people going on about it. Now, if the 300, I like that because it's like the movie, the 300, create this, and the loss of our chats here, of Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei. Well, that's a good place to start. And then, yes, and what I really, yes, we need a bigger audience, but I want to take us to the audience. That's why I want to create the Humanities Artists Trust International and the Institute for Aesthetically Adept and Appropriate Technologies, and the thing to take it out to the public, the Traveling Video Art Circus. We put it in a 501c3, we can get a lot of money. None of us will have to go to work, right? And talking about that, Fish is at a job interview right now, and I want to take a good solid minute for us to go into state and put our love light on Fish getting the job. Getting the gold ring. Ding, 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 ding. Being unbelievably happy, satisfied with the interview that Fish is having right now, and that the people hiring him will like pay him more than anybody else and be ecstatic to have Fish, as they should be, in their employ. Okay? Come on, focus on Fish. Send our love to Fish. Go Fish, yes. Breathe in that 20%. Visualize Fish at his interview, just hitting it out of the park, being amazingly great. Putting all our consciousness, all our free will, all our love and love's co-creation. See Fish ecstatically happy with the outcome of his interview. See it clearly. 20%. Seeing in our imaginary mirror the illumination of the prana, energizing every cell of our body. See our mitochondria just sparking up. And we're sending that energy of the mitochondria out into the ether, straight to fish. Go fish, go fish, go fish. See fish ecstatically happy. And with that happiness, it reflects back to us, and we all feel that happiness. Feel our energy rise, our sense of who we are, our self-worth, understanding that what really matters is our free will of our consciousness and how we are in co-creation with love and infinity. See it clearly. Okay, you don't need to respond because we're in the ether. Put your energy of your response in there. And then when you're ready, you got it, And the other thing is, within the context of the griot, right? The storyline jumps around because there are all our relations. That's, a lot of consciousnesses there. And we are the cadre, the 300, and the folk who are on the chat are the shock troops that are ready to jump around, and that pushes forth the conversation in a way that doesn't get stuck, doesn't get focused on one idea or another, but takes that idea or another and accumulates it into the larger picture of all our relations in love's co-creation. And yes, it takes some effort, and because you have to let go of that material. You can't get stuck in the dogmas, in the institutionalization of your thought. You have to let go of it all. Just let it go. And that's why we go into state. Thank you, Jane. Dragon 369, go fish. Yep. And that's what we do here, and that's what we're practicing at, going into state. The text that we, need to quote is our Akashic record, and that is just a roadmap, more or less. It gives us a perspective. That's why we have the 28 little screens about the big screen, to look at every friggin' angle. And we don't, speak to it. We keep, journaling about it in our Akashic record until that idea is like burning in our heart. And that's what the chat is for, and that's why it moves so fast, and that's why it's all over the place, and that's why everyone in the chat actually, is more than all right with this process, right? So, and okay, if you want to be more, I'm a scholar, I understand exactly where you're coming from. So if you want to get a hold of me at the Dude Awake 42 at Gmail, and we can talk about this in a singular, structured kind of format of the idea, not a problem. I'd love to do that. I mean, that's, like I said, I'm a scholar. I'm well trained in that fact, in that process. Whoop, whoop. Yep. Just keep swimming. Right? So, okay. So we're getting close to 2 hours, and I'm starting to get a little tuckered. So I'm going to, at 2 hours on the dot, or maybe 2 hours, 2 minutes and 22 seconds, I will say, I'll see you tonight. But this was a great one. The morning chats are as invigorating, and I think because we are all night owls, me, Al Bob, when it becomes night, and though half of you it's day, the night owl of us really comes out. And that's why those things are 3 and 4 hours long, and I don't get tuckered out. And we go into a different mode, right? This is a shamanic mode. I mean, everything I do on this channel is shamanic. I mean, before I go into this, I meditate. I might journal. I might look at things. I think about the energy I want to project on the chat, and then you guys take it away. As Buddy says, whoop whoop. Oh, I look forward to meeting you eye to eye, buddy. And all of you, Jane, Dragon, all of you. Tucker. I love you, Tucker. I love you all. Right? And Kay, I love you too, baby. Ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba. So, Jane, you live near Jasper Mountain. You want me to come in? Anybody in America want me to come and visit you, especially if you're someplace warm and, within 400 miles of Roanoke, Virginia. I don't know how well my car will make it. And I still have to stick around. I have a few, have to get my eyes operated on in a few days, and I have other medical procedures. But probably towards the end of February or somewhere near, I will be able to come visit. And then when May comes, you can come visit me. And like I said, the deep green is a great first, base of operations where we can put put the plan together, write up the grants, get a nice flyer out to colleges, get a bank account that people can put money into, that the group can use, a good business plan, as they say. And that's what you gotta, to deal, as Kay it really kind of says, we're going to do this. We kind of, when things get weird, the weird get professional, so we got to bring this around. And we don't change the format of the chat, we don't change the format of the cadre or the, shock troops, we just make ourselves better and better, And yes, that literary dude popularized the term, but Louise Etra, I think, invented it. And go look up the Rudd Etra video synthesizer. It's you. Where'd you go? It's you. You still here with us? S2, you still here? Yep, the path to normalcy is getting even narrower. Yep. So look, that was a nice shamanic time, 1 hour, 56 minutes and 56 seconds. Oh, the sun is coming out. I think I'm going to walk out into the frozen tundra. Maybe, I'll walk out there with you. I'm sure the battery is charged up enough. Mama. Out of my little cell. Yeah, this is it for me. This is my but it's warm. It's better than being out in the snow. And this is the common room, and out there is the sun room. There's a couple of bedrooms down there and a bathroom there, and down there is the really beautiful basement, but I don't feel like stumbling down the steps. And here's the kitchen. I love the fact that they put it so the sun hits it all the time. Sunny, sunny kitchen. And here is spaghetti I made earlier that I'll probably be eating for the next couple of days. And here's the stew, totally vegetable, veganish kind of stew. Low in, won't put fat on your bones. And here is going out. Look at this place. So it's friggin' ice everywhere. That's like, kill yourself kind of ice. This ice is pretty. So here is my walking stick. Put the little forky things away from me. Okay, it's kind of maybe wasn't as frozen as it was this morning. It's still kind of frozen. But it's pretty. Gotta say that for it. It's pretty. But can't drive on it. That's the tough thing. So, here it is Tuesday, and I've been up here with John since Friday. It's got food. At least it's still warm. Snow is falling off the roof. Okay. Oh, look, it's not even 2 hours yet. It's 1 hour 59 minutes. Sounds good, Mike. Jane, yummy. 6:34 a.m. in buddy time. 2 hours. Okay, a few minutes. I will sign off. Oh, here comes John.